A very warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I welcome all the participants for the session PC Troubleshooting and Hardware Maintenance. I thank our CEO Sri Sai Prakash Liamothu sir for arranging this wonderful session, and also I owe a sincere thanks to our beloved principal Dr. K. Payanikumar sir and Dr. B. Sridevi ma'am, HOD Department of CSC, and the staff members of Entrepreneurship Development Cell for organizing this event. I also thank our coordinators Rajalakshmi ma'am, Trinavakarsa sir and Dr. Shanmugu Sundar sir for coordinating this event. Once again, I welcome all the participants for the session. We have eminent speakers from various organizations who are here to share their views and ideas regarding the topic. So, without any delay, let's welcome our session speaker, Dr. G. Merlin Linda, who is currently working as an assistant professor in SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Vadapani campus. She is pursuing her PhD from Anna University, and also she has completed her ME in Computer Science and Engineering from Jerusalem College of Engineering. She has published 4 international journals, and also she has attended 3 national conferences, and she has participated in many events, and she has completed online certifications like Python for data science and programming data structures and algorithms using Python. And she is a lifetime member of Indian Society of Technical Education, and also member of International Society for Research and Development. She is well versed in languages like C, C++, Python, and web technology like HTML, JavaScript, and servlets. So let's welcome our session speaker. We welcome you, ma'am. Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Yeah, ma'am. You can start the session, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. So, very good afternoon. Good afternoon for this afternoon session. So, we have seen some morning troubleshooting functions, right? How we can. We have seen some basic problem. What is troubleshooting? What are the general basic problems we will encounter in daily life uh, with the help of PC? We have come across. Now we'll see more about troubleshooting about various memory errors related with hardware and software. Right? Let me present my slide. So the today now this session objective is to know the difference between beep codes and error code. So we'll be concentrating about beep code and what is that meaning of the beep code. What problem has occurred while we are getting different beep codes, and we'll be seeing the solution, possible solution for solving the beep code. If we are getting some bias setup utility problem, how we can able to solve that solution for the particular code, we'll see discuss about that. Then some troubleshoot computer problems associated with the hardware, and preventive maintenance of a computer system, how we can able to prevent it. These are the main objective we are going to cover, we are going to see in today, right? So some of the points which I have discussed in morning session, like general issues, how we can able to solve general error problems while you are logging system log off, you are not able to hear your audio, and if your power cable is not working. So we are seeing some general problems. So many computer problems appear more serious than they really are, right? We don't need to panic, we can relax, but people will think that when the system is not logging in, that's all, they will be really panic, and they will they will be running here and there without knowing what is the cause of the computer. First relax and calm and look out what the problem has been analyzed, what happened to your system, make sure there really is a problem, and check the basic, like which I have discussing with you from the morning session, like the cable is correct, connectors are correct, power cord are plugged in, even though you have connected your power cord with the switchboard, you check that whether the switch is on. Often and there might be a loose cable connection that might lead to the power fluctuation. If you are using a power strip or a protector, make sure that it works properly. Remember that the protector may not be working because it is destined to self-destruct. So we have to check all these things, whether everything which you have, the basic things which you are doing is expecting to be correct, right? And if the power, sometimes there won't be any power supply, so it change the power outlet, and try to check that you are getting a good power supply. Check to see if your monitor is on sound, but it look like that it sounds silly, but sometimes we will not switch on your monitor. I hope if you are using a PC, you need to switch on your monitor CPU separately. There will be two separate power cables for these two. If you have a laptop, no issues, right? No problem. If you have a PC, you have to switch on the power supply. Without that, if you have USB, no problem. You have to connect. If you have your if you have power backup, no problem, so you can switch on that. That will work, so that is different, right? So can't get onto the network or the internet. So if you're facing, we'll see about this third point more detail about tomorrow session, the last session which I'll be handling for you. I'll be discussing some of the internet related issues. So what are the troubleshooting when you'll be browsing, what are the troubleshooting we'll be getting, how we can able to solve that internet related, like pop-up connectivity problem, all the some applications not working with the backend. I'll be discussing tomorrow with some examples. So can't get on the internet or network, check to see if anyone anyone else around us having a similar problem. If so, there may be a service outage affecting that wider area. So that particular area, suppose if you are using a Wi-Fi network, some area will not get a proper service. So you have to move to the some location which your area is covering that particular signal. So signal strength will be weak in some area it will be weak. You know about the distance coverage of Wi-Fi. So you can, the full signal strength will be good in that Wi-Fi supported area only, right? Check to make sure that the network cable is connected to both the computer and the wall or the modem. That's I explained. Check whether the computer network cable is made to be back of the computer. You should see a little green light where the cable connection and flashing option like signal. In the CPU, some signal will be keeping that light detector, so it will blink, like blink, it will go on off, it indicating that your system has been switched on. If rebooting doesn't fix it, contact the help desk, which means that you know what happens of error which you might have arised. So that's why we are seeing so far all the sessions. So error message, this I discussed in the morning session, so you can write it down taking notes, what happened, what type of error message you got, then start searching, start looking to the problem which you might got, because some error troubleshooting message, it will come 1 second, immediately that will disappear. So as you are a human being, I'm not saying that everyone is not have a good memory. Sometimes if a lot of works in day-to-day life, in a moment we will be we can able to don't know what type of message we received just before couple of minutes ago. So it is better to note down the error message which we received. That will help you to work on with solve your errors more fastly, right? So that is one thing. And think about what changed recently on a computer. This is one very good thing. So sometimes your system, you assume that your system is working correctly, right? So when we go little bit back, or if you do some anything, any software, if you are installing or if you are uninstalling any software, that might cause another application to stop working. So you have to remember that what kind of settings you done in your system. So if you did you have to because if any problem occurred, you have to check that a couple of minutes ago our system was perfect, and you have to remember what kind of mistake or what you have added or removed from your system. So you have to analyze with that settings with your current problem which you are getting. So that is one thing we can able to do. And the computer is on, you can the following scenario: the computer might be on, or it is not able to, we will be getting some problems, like everything on the screen is frozen and the keyboard and mouse are not responding. This I discussed in the morning session, right? So what we can do if everything on the screen is frozen and keyboard and mouse are not at all responding, I told you one option called go to Control Alt Delete. We will be getting the task manager. Then we can stop if the application is running, then the screen is frozen, you can do that, like temporary this file has been stopped, you'll be getting some messages like that. Mouses are not responding means you have to refresh your screen, or you'll be having F5 some in older Windows 7 F5 will work for refreshing the screen, or right click go to refresh the screen. So that will solve the problem. Pressing Alt plus 4. So to close your recently working windows, which means that then you might have lot of tabs in your system that will open. So that will cause your memory to load more capacity. So instead of doing that, you can use Alt plus 4. It will shows that what are the frozen windows or what are the unused windows uh, to close down, right? So some other computer problem, the blue screen has appeared, which means that blue screen of you have to reboot something, reboot. Actually, this will appear where that if you have any booting problem. So BIOS setup utility, I have spoken you about yesterday, right? If you have a BIOS setup utility problem, you will be getting that blue screen. Suddenly, the screen will go blank blue, which means that it is a blue. Then you can indicate that there is a major problem with related with the OS. So you have to check that BIOS utility option, and you have to either, if you pointed out the correct where the problem is, you can change the BIOS utility. You can go to the particular setting. I have discussed some menus in the BIOS utility, right? You can go there, you can point out where that particular field is, you can able to change that, and you have to save the setting. Otherwise, load the default settings present in the BIOS utility setup. That can solve your problem. The computer is on but there is no sound means you can check that taskbar in the side. You will be having a speaker option will be there. You click that and you go inside the setting, check that whether the speaker connection is on. So if it is off, or if your volume is too low, increase the volume and test that speaker is working. That way you have to check that. So the computer is on but the keyboard doesn't work. So in this case, you have to if it is a PC, actually what I'm speaking here is it related mostly all the troubleshooting is related with our PC. And I hope that laptop that will be different. So if your keyboard is suddenly, if one of the keys or keyboard is not working, what you will do? The keyboard might be long pressed. It will, you have to check that keyboard, that particular key, just move left, right, up and down. That key may be pressed long. If you have pressed A key in the laptop, it may be long pressed. So you have to just adjust the key, make sure that the A letter key is displaying. So otherwise, if your key, any of your, there is one more also, even the OS will show you that type of error. If you are getting a keyboard problem, if you are getting a keyboard problem, the virtual keypad will be enabled. The OS will enable the virtual keypad. For example, if I am switching on my system, initial stage, let me take that my system keyboard control and Z, some Z letter, control key is not working, Z key is not working, X key is not working. So if you encounter any one of the key is not working in a keyboard, you can able to see that in the screen. A virtual keypad will be displayed. By looking into that, you can able to know that the keyboard is some problem will be in your keyboard. So I am speaking this example for your laptop because I encountered a problem. There are two control keys are present in your laptop, right? One control key will be in the right side, one control key will be in the left side. So for my keypad, the left side key control key will not work. So when I will be logging, which means I'll be switching on my laptop, I have to I have given a password to enter into the system. So at that time when I start typing my letter, the virtual keypad will be enabled. So after looking into that, only analyzed that because when I found when I started typing Z button also, it is not working. So then I found that okay, some keypad letters are not working. They analyzed that my keypad has been a problem. So after that, I was like tilting my that particular keys which I had encountered a problem. It started working, but control key is still not working. So you can also able to analyze that if you are getting automatically suddenly, if you are getting a virtual keypad, the OS itself pop up the virtual keypad. It will not say that your keyboard is in fault. Why that virtual keyboard is displaying to is your original, you cannot able to type that Z letter or control option through the keyboard. So you can use the virtual keypad displayed by the OS to type the letter which is not able to do by the keyboard. So that is one of the option. The computer is on but the keyboard doesn't work, so you can able to find in such a manner that it is not working. The control alt delete. So the control alt delete button will display the task manager, which I told you in the morning class. What is the functionality, how we can able to remove the not responding programs from that task manager. So you will be getting oftenly will be getting that not responding, Microsoft not responding, this folder not responding, PPT not responding, PDF not responding. So you can click Control Alt Delete button, go to the task manager, what type of application is not responding, you click that, you can click end task, so that the task manager will stop that particular application immediately. But one thing here is again, sometimes task manager will not immediately stop that application. It will be bound with some other application associated with the OS. So what we should do, you have to restart your system. That will solve your problem, right? So I have experienced all that issue, but that's why I can able to speak with you freely. Most of the issue I have come across, right? Even you might have faced until now. So far in the while you're using computer, so rebooting can do wonders. Like rebooting, which means restarting or rebooting, can help you solve most of your problems. But the thing is, when if you have not saved your files, like it can able to show that recover document. For example, if you started working MS document, the moment you save, for example, 2 moments back you have not saved the updated the MS document, so the suddenly my PC got rebooted. So you think that some application might got reboot my system. So automatically I have not given any reboot option, but the system is rebooting automatically. So what will happen there? What will happen? So the system will automatically, it will shut down and it will restart again. So you think that you have not saved 1 minute before what are the content you have typed in the MS Word. So after rebooting, the MS Word will show you the recover document. So there is an option called recover document. In more cases you will be getting this option. So in PPT or while you're doing MS Word, if you have not saved your works, like I'm not saying that truly, but the moment before you have not saved that files will be recovered, excuse me, that files will be recovered, so that you can able to see all these things, right? So that is about the recover document, right? So the beep okay, so this is about the simple troubleshooting problems which you have come across in day-to-day life activities. So now we'll about some more things troubleshooting while related with the BIOS utility, how the BIOSes help to solve the problem. Just we'll see it, right? So here we can see, here is the beep pattern is telling you what part of the hardware is failing. So why we are already we have seen enough about the BIOS utility setup, that is your booting problems. So now we'll see that for this beep sound, this problem will come. We can not this will come. You can able to analyze or understand for this beep sound the problem has occurred, and you can able to apply the solution. So that is the point you can which I have for you. So the B pattern is telling you what part of the hardware is failing. Like unfortunately, there are different standards for the B pattern, and you will have to refer to your motherboard user manual for it. But instead of doing that, you can able to self learn how it is. What are the types of beep code which we have seen in yesterday's session. So one beep, short beep means normal post. I hope you know that we have seen that it will test that functionality itself, whether the BIOS system is working, the booting system, everything has been component has been done correctly or not. So one short beep will tell you it's a normal post, computer is fine. So continuous beep, RAM, there is a RAM problem. So one long and three short beeps indicate a video error has occurred and the BIOS cannot initialize the video screen to display any additional information. One long and three short beeps. See, so it means that it indicated video error has occurred and the BIOS, basic input output system, cannot initialize the video screen to display any additional information. This will happen when you are initially starting the system. So some of the troubleshooting tips for a new monitor before going to see about this short beeps, continuous beeps, one long and three short beeps. You'll see that some of the troubleshooting tips for if you're using a new monitor system. So if you're using new PC or new laptop, you'll be getting a lot of troubleshooting also. Install this application, install your sound drive, install pen drive. Even when you in a new laptop, or if you are for example, you might have not inserted the particular model of the pen drive. If you insert first time, it will you can able to see that will be mapping with the port or the hardware present in your machine. So sometimes it will say that your driver is not installed properly, which means that the operating system is not able to why operating system is not able to handle, because the BIOS manufacturing company is not supported to handle that pen drive which you have inserted. So we have to manually install the driver functionalities to access the pen drive. I don't know how many of you have come across this error. When you are inserting some pen drive, it will take quite some large amount of time. You will be getting a right side in that in the time. You'll be having a time message. Calendar is there, right? There will be getting a notification message saying that your driver has been installed. It is installing driver. After installing driver, you will be getting two results. Either the pen drive will open, otherwise it will getting a notification message saying that your drivers has not been installed, try install it later. That kind of notification message will be received. So the picture does not appear, the screen is not synchronized, position of the screen is not in center, the screen is too bright or too dark, the screen is shaking. So these are some of the troubleshooting problems you'll be getting when you are going with the new monitors. Like if the picture does not appear, means your have to signal cable is not good, you have to check the power system is on. The screen is not synchronized, means it is not matched with your signal timing. You have to check the system. There will be, you can see that this troubleshooting tips is for new PC, it's not for laptop. You can see that the monitor resolution, some buttons will be there in PCs. So you can adjust that screen resolution, that brightness. There will be auto adjustment also. If you have mistakenly set some values for settings, you can click the auto adjustment so that everything will be set in order. So the position of the screen is not in the center, like H horizontal, H face. So yeah, you can able to check with the help of you can able to adjust by yourself, or you can go with the default setting. The screen is too bright. We have a button in the PC monitor. By using that, you can adjust your brightness. So screen is shaking. So you can see that if you are working with a PC, suddenly the screen will be jumbling, like the screens, some scribbled lines will be getting, horizontal scribbled lines, vertical scribbled lines, or this continuously screen will be running behind you. So that time you will be having a problem. So check. So if it is happening, one issue is it will be related to the hardware motherboard problem. The second issue is booting is not perfect. Third is you have to check with the signal everything is perfect, which means that voltage is coming correctly, the signal is matched with the computer system, the specification of the monitor is correct. You have to check with that. The PC which you are connected with the system, the connections are perfect, the cables which are connected with the port is properly connected or not. So this is the some troubleshooting tips for if you're going across with your new monitor. Now this next thing which you are going to discuss is troubleshooting tips for a new motherboard. So here, when you have your new motherboard, so for example, new motherboard means you have assembled your CPU. In such cases, what are the problems will occur? Or if you have any problems in BIOS utility setup, what are the problem? How you can handle those? So you can see that the problem, a probable cause is power cable is unplugged, defective power cable, power supply. These are related with your power failure. So the system has no power at all. Power light does not illuminate fan inside the power supply. It does not turn on. It indicating the light on the keyboard does not turn on. So if you are encountering this kind of problem, which means that what is the cause of the problem is power cable is unplugged, which means that you are not having enough amount of power to switch on your computer. Defective power cable problem, power supply failure. I'm not saying that all these problems will occur to you. Any one problem may lead to the power failure. The faulty wall outlet, circuit breaker or fuse down will lead to a problem. So this is the diagnosis. So if the power cable is unplugged, what should you do? We have to do the following thing. So visually inspect the power cable. I have to visually inspect the power cable. Visual inspection, try another cable. Power cable and wall socket system is still dead. Plug device into the socket, no to work and test. So these are the sort of the things which I have to do it. And what are the solution I have to apply? Finally, I know what is the cause. I know what is the diagnosis, which means that what can cause what has caused the lead to the probable lead to this problem, and I am going to apply the solution. You can see the list of solution. Make sure power cable is securely plugged in, replace cable, contact technical support, use different socket, repair outlet, reset circuit breaker or replace fuse. So you can do this, analyze the probable cause, find out the diagnosis and apply the solution, right? So this is the simple solution if you encounter a system power failure. Then system inoperative, the keyboard lights are on, power indicator lights are lit and hard drive is spinning, which means that hard drive is not. So if the expansion, will have a hard drive slot will be there in each and every systems. So the expansion card is partially dislodged from expansion slot on the motherboard. So that is the probable cause. So turn off the computer, take cover of system unit. Check all expansion cards to ensure they are securely sealed and slots. So the solution for this diagnostics problem is using even pressure on both the ends of expansion cord. Press down firmly on expansion cord. This how we have to do is you have to take your CPU. So I'm not speaking this for a laptop. This is for CPU. I hope you remember when I showed you the very first session, speaking about the virtual desktop simulator. So I have showed you all the parts of the computer virtually. So there will be a card called expansion card. So this will be connected with one end of your CPU. You take that, put pressure and insert once again, so that if there is a loose connection, it will work. Once it is fixed, it might start working, right? So there is one defective floppy disk drive or tape drive, defective expansion. You can look into the slide. So the system does not boot from hard disk drive, can be booted from floppy disk drive. See, we have seen one case study. When you are inserting a USB drive, the booting system is not working. So which means that the booting system has not in a position to accept your pen drive. So I have told you what is the problem there, what we have to do. Similarly, when you are using hard disk drive, the booting system is not working. So the connection between the hard drive and system bound unplugged, or hard disk can damage the controller. Hard disk directly or fat is scrambled. So these might be some of the probable cause. So diagnostic, how you analyze this is the probable cause. when attempting to run the fdisk flash disk utility and invalid drive specification, format hard disk drive. These are the probable notification message, troubleshooting message you might received. So you can able to apply the following solution. Check cable running from disk to disk control on the board. Make sure both ends are securely plugged in. Check the driver types in the standard CMOS setup. So these are the settings you have to do in the BIOS utility setups, which I have told you yesterday. The system only boot from floppy disk, hard disk can be read and application can be used. So the error message which we get for this is sector not found. So what is this type of error messages? Hard disk boot program has been destroyed. So which means that hard disk program, even the operating system has caused the program to disable. So for this cases, the number of, you have to find out what are the number of causes could be behind this. There are a lot of problems. Either OS or software can corrupt this. So you will be having a backup data and application files. So reformat the hard drive and describe in the hard drive section of the manual. Reinstall the application and data using backup disk. So we have to install some backup OS, and we have to manually you have to do that the setting options. Because if I can able to do all other BIOS setup, it will take long time. So if you find out that what is the problem that caused the hard disk boot, then you go to that boot utility setup, open that particular backup hard drive format option, then change the setting details. So that is about sector not found. So disk formatting in IBM PS2 will not operate with the system. So you'll be getting this, the green color. What are the green color symbols with green color notes I have given here? That is the question, it's the problem. So this is the solution in orange color boxes, like tablet column. So the probable causes related with IBM PS2 will be IBM PS2 uses a different format than other computer, right? It will format the diagnostics for the probable causal format will not work in AT and type. Some format disk in the AT type computer, insert disk in the IBM. So that will be a problem. So you have to, that will be depending upon the manufacturing companies. Actually, this will be difficult to find out this kind of diagnosis, because here the PC which will be related with the IBM will be this. So after installing expansion hard, the system is no longer work properly. If you are getting this after, we have seen the previously, right, there is an expansion card problem. I told you that where we will be going. You have to open the CPU, you have to look into the expansion card, then you have to analyze it. So after doing that also, you might wonder network card, tape card, drive card are not working properly. So in this cases, the probable cause will be no power to monitor. That is, diagnosis of the probable causes, all are part of the system may be inoperable. The new card may work in, but a monitor or COM ports, that is COM ports may not work, right? So what we have to do, I have to change the RAM address with the new expansion card. This will be purely based on the hardware BIOS utility setup. So you have to do the hardware also, and you have to change the setup utility also. The screen message says configuration or CMOS failure. So the probable failure will be incorrect information entered into the configuration. Check the configuration program, replace and incorrect information. Review system equipments, make sure correct information is in setup. So if the screen is blank, no power to monitor, power not connected, so on, so we have discussed. And the screen goes blank periodically if the screen is automatically switching on and off. So the screensaver is enabled. So there might be an option called in the setting screensaver. You have to disable the screensaver, so that screensaver blinking will go off. Keyboard failure, and check that whether you have properly connected the keyboard with the CPU, right? So no color on the screen, faulty monitor, CMOS incorrectly set up. So this you have to consult with the technician what to do with the CMOS incorrect setup. Sometimes not all the cases, some terrible motherboard problem, inside the circuit problem, you should look into the technicians, because if you are quite handy in doing all the computer works, it's okay. But if you, sometimes we cannot able to handle the hardware part. Software oriented we can able to handle well, we can able to search the internet, we can able to find out what is the cause of the troubleshoot, then we can solve the problems. But when you come across with a hardware problem, that is quite difficult to, I'm not saying that quite difficult, it's not safe to change the settings. Suppose if you wrongly save the setting, it will corrupt your device, original device also. You should be very be careful in doing such kind of setting option. So there will be a problem with the error in drive A, C drive failure. So these and all we have to relate it with the floppy disk. Right? Cannot boot system after installing second hard drive. So this problem will be in BIOS setup. There will be a master slave option will be there. You have to do there, and you have to change the settings present there. So missing operating system on hard drive. So CMOS setup has been changed, which means that the original BIOS setup has been corrupted by some applications. So you have to go to the BIOS setup and reinstall the default of facilities. So keyboard is locked, no key function. We have seen keyboard is locked, no key function. So this is why keyboard is locked. What are the things we can do? So I hope so. This is the some basic troubleshooting option. And thank you. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about the various. When I'm searching internet, what are the errors will arise? Like what are the troubleshooting errors may arise? We'll seeing with that, like pop-up menus. Suppose when I'm searching in the internet, I'll be getting some pop-up options I'll be getting some internet failures, like this application has failed, your extension is, you cannot able to tools this, for example, if I have extension, I hope everyone know why the extension is. Suppose AdGod is blocking, Google Doc offline is not working, Google Meet attendance is not working, PNG to PDF converter. So what happens if I'm getting this pop-up messages? How I can able to resolve that problems related with internet connectivity problem with the all the internet. So I will able to complete this 1 week session with internet related troubleshooting issues, right? I hope this session is interesting to you. So if you have any questions related with this troubleshooting problem, you can text me. Right? So we'll seeing in tomorrow's session. Thank you, participants. It's a very pleasure to take this session. Thank you.